Hello, everyone. So, what is a column schedule and how do we draw it? So, first of all, the column schedule is part of the structural drawings that are submitted at the end of a structural design project. In structural design, we submit several design drawings. A part of them is the column schedule. Now, regardless of the shape of the column schedule, because each design office does it in a way, the same information is found in any type or shape of column schedules. So we have columns names, columns shape, dimensions, and columns reinforcement, including longitudinal bars and stirrups. So what we should cover in the column schedule is the full information about the columns from foundation to top of roof level in order for the bar bending schedule to be performed. So in this row here, we have the levels for each column. So we have foundation to ground, ground to mezzanine, mezzanine to first, and then we can continue till the top of roof level. So what information should this column schedule provide? First of all, what we should do is that having our structural plans and the arrangement of columns, each column should be given a certain name. But the columns having the same name must have first the same dimensions, and second, the same reinforcement, and third, the same layout from the bottom of building to the top of building. So in case this column is C1 and this column is C1, both columns should have the same dimensions. They should start at the same level and end at the same level, and they should have the same reinforcement. Because when we come and look at C1 in this column schedule, we will know that this C1 is only from foundation level to ground floor level. So as we can see, it does not continue to the other floors, and it has the dimensions of 300 by 1000, and then this reinforcement layout. So I cannot have another column C1 that continues to the other floors. Even if at foundation level we have 300 by 1000, let's check if we have it. For example, okay, we don't have another one that is 300 by 1000, but let's assume this is 300 by 1 meter and it continues to the other floors. We cannot call it C1. Okay, so the most important thing that columns with the same name must have the same reinforcement layout, same dimensions, and same presence in levels. So after finishing the columns naming on all structural plans from the bottom of the building to the top of the building, we can start drawing our column schedule. And note that this column, if it's called C1, it should be called the same name in all floors. If this is called C5, it should have the same name in all floors, because each column is considered as one column from top of building to bottom of building with the same name, and which is represented in the column schedule. So as for the schedule, we'd start first by listing the columns that we have. We then list the floors and levels that we have, and then start by drawing our columns. In order to know how to draw the column layout, the column reinforcement layout, you can go back to the other video that I will mention in the description below. So after naming the columns, we will begin by drawing the layout, and then from each level to each level, we check the columns dimensions because they may be different between levels. So this column, for example, which is the C8, it's 400 by 1500 from foundation to ground, and then it becomes 300 by 1500 from ground to mezzanine level, and then 300 by 1350 from mezzanine level to first floor level, and it stays with the same dimensions till the roof level. But we can notice here the change in reinforcement number because it follows the layout of the column. So, for example, this column is planted on the 7th floor. Okay, so before the 7th floor, C29 won't be present. Okay, so the first column present in the schedule is at the 7th floor. And here we combine 7th floor to 12th floor because they are typical. We can do either way. We can either do each floor by itself, or if we have typical floors where all the columns do not change, we can combine them from 7th to 12th. For example, here, these columns are from 3rd to 7th floor. So this column is planted on the 7th floor and it continues up till the roof. So before the 7th floor, this column will not be present. So it will only be present from 7th to 12th and then from 12th to roof. And whenever we have a column, it should be present. Whenever the column is not there, it should not be present in the schedule. And we should note that, let's assume this is the foundation, first floor, second floor, third floor, and this is the roof. Okay, so if a column starts here and ends here, we only have it from foundation to first to second. Okay, if a column starts here and ends here, we have it from from first floor to second floor to third, and then it ends on the roof. Okay, so let's assume this column ends on top of roof, so it's only present until the roof level. So if we have here additional top of roof, this column would be this one, from foundation to first to second, passing all floors and then ending on the roof. So this is how we can read a column schedule. It's important that it has all the information related to columns, where they start, where they end, like what level they start, what level they end, what reinforcement layout does it have, and the change of dimensions of columns with the floor.